24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local expanded newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Today is the last day of classes for Clinton students, which means the Clinton Y's Camp Osage kicks off tomorrow. Melinda Akers with the YMCA explains that despite Camp Osage beginning tomorrow, there is no cutoff date for signups, making it the perfect option for families in need of short-notice childcare this summer. She reminds that they are moving to an online registration form.
Yes, absolutely. So it's not that you do not have to register by a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
We leave the registration open all summer long.
Okay.
So if you realize at the beginning of summer, I don't need camp right now, and then July comes around and maybe things change for you and you do need camp, you can register at any time. This year, for the first time, we have all online registration. So what that means is that in the past, we have had registration where you can come into the YMCA, pick up a packet, fill it out, and take it to the front desk and get registered. This year, you can visit our website, Clinton YMCA website, and it's all online. You answer all of the same questions that you would have on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just walk through the process, and there is a $25 registration fee for registering for camp.
Mm-hmm.
That also comes with a t-shirt for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
We wear those on field trip days, so those are kind of important. But the online part of it is super easy. It's super, and it's great for us too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's beneficial in both ways.
Also online, you can find a full calendar of the summer's activities to help parents and students decide which days of Camp Osage are right for them. She points out that having a youth membership at the Y provides a discount on camp.
So we have an activity schedule that gets posted prior to that week of camp, and that will tell you, what the cost of going to the pool is, what the cost of the field trip is for that week. And how we manage that is, if your child comes to camp that day, then they automatically are going on the field trip, and that will be charged to your account just like a day of camp. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about sending cash with them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about a charge being added on there for the field trip on whatever day we go. It's just wrapped up in your camp fee when you pay for your camp days.
Sure.
So we have two different price points. Camp is $56 per day. Or if you send your child all 5 days, it's $280.
Okay.
That is without a youth membership. If you get your child a youth membership, which is $20 a month, the cost goes from $56 down to $40. So almost in 1 day of camp, you've paid for the youth membership.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend going that route,
Mm-hmm.
even if you only plan on bringing your child a few days of the month to camp, because it definitely pays for it. So with that youth membership, camp is then $40 per day and $200 per week. You already have a family membership and your child is on your account for that, then it would be the $40 per day.
If you cannot afford to send your child to camp, Akers indicates that there are multiple ways that the costs can be covered or reduced through scholarships.
If there's anybody that would like to send their child and is not sure about the cost or if they can afford it, they can also apply for CCRN. That is a financial assistance program through the state of Illinois. We also offer scholarship at the YMCA. So if you stop by, we can get you the forms to fill out for that. So camp starts June 2nd. We will be there with bells on at 7 a.m. Registration is open. Visit our website at ClintonComm.org and go to the youth tab camp registration.
And again, you can register for camp at any point during the summer, correct?
Any point. Yes, absolutely.
Camp begins June 2nd. Learn more and register by visiting ClintonCommYMCA.org. A Piatt County law enforcement leader is issuing a warning to business owners after an encounter with counterfeit bills. Monticello Police Chief Rob Ross is alerting business owners and cashiers to be observant of bills, especially large ones, after a fake $100 bill was almost accepted at a local pool.
Yep. So we had a kiddo here that had a replica $100 bill, and I know it's replica without even touching it because it says replica on it. But tried to pass it forward to buy, I think, a hot dog and nachos, something along those lines. So what we have seen in the past is we'll have one report. Usually we aren't too far away from 2, 3, or 4 other reports. We're going to work with our community liaison to put out some information to the businesses around here, just because we see a lot of this kind of ebbs and flows. But the money, we have the movie money where it says for motion picture use only. We've had people try to pass that forward. We've had about 2 or 3 years ago, it was odd. It was almost like a $5 or a $20 bill, but it had almost like Chinese writing on it. So they tried to push that, I believe, at our grocery stores.
Chief Bross explains that bank pens and other anti-counterfeiting tools are crucial to preventing these crimes. He adds that uscurrency.gov can be a good resource if you are unsure of a bill.
We tell people, definitely businesses, if you can get or purchase the bank pens, that's very good. And a lot of times the bill itself will give you a clue. I'm touching this one. It's very smooth to the touch, almost like it's got a coating on it. Obviously, real money doesn't have that. The blue security strip in it isn't shining. It's, if you hold it at an angle, you see it kind of reflect back at you.
If you accidentally accept fake money in your business, Chief Bross indicates it cannot be recovered. He says if you have any suspicion of a customer attempting to fool you, call the police immediately. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about back-to-school preparations. Part of getting your kids ready for the new school year means making sure they're healthy. SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back-to-school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine. Forward for you.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Colson Montgomery homered, and Tristan Peters' RBI single put Chicago ahead as the Chicago White Sox rallied with 2 runs in the 7th inning to beat the slumping Detroit Tigers 2-1 on Sunday for their 5th straight win.
The White Sox kept it close through the stretch, trailing 1-0, and then bam, Colson Montgomery opened the floodgates in the bottom of the 7th.
Montgomery 0 for 2, looking for one pitch to whack. And he hits a fly ball out into right. Perez is back. He's at the fence. He's going to go. We're tied.
There's your pitch to whack.
Chase Mydroth and Jacob Gonzalez followed Colson's blast with a couple of singles, setting the table for Tristan Peters to knock home the go-ahead run.
0-2, hit on the ground, into left. Mydroth around third. He's going to score without a throw. They've got the lead.
The Sox have won 5 straight, finishing their homestand 6-1 as they hit the road Monday to take on the Minnesota Twins. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 o'clock on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The Sox will take on the Twins tonight in Minnesota. Hear the action on WHOW. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. Matthew Liberatore took a shutout into the 6th inning, and Mason Wynn hit a 2-run single as the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Chicago Cubs 5-1 on Sunday night. J.J. Weatherholt and Ivan Herrera each had 2 hits and scored twice for the Cardinals, who took 2 of 3 from their NL Central rivals after entering the series on a 4-game losing streak. Alec Burleson drove in 2 runs. Alex Bregman homered for the Cubs, who are 3-2 since a 10-game skid. Liberatore is 3-3 and allowed 3 hits and 1 walk in 5 1/3 scoreless innings after giving up at least 3 runs in each of his previous 3 starts. He also struck out 4. Hunter Dobbins relieved Liberatore hours after being recalled from AAA Memphis and yielded 1 run on 4 hits with 4 strikeouts over 3 2/3 innings for his first professional save. Bregman hit his 5th homer this season to left field off his former Boston teammate in the 6th to spoil the shutout and extend his hitting streak to 11 games. Burleson blooped an RBI single off reliever Ethan Roberts that landed just in front of left fielder Ian Happ to make it 3-0 in the 3rd. Wynn added a 2-run single that extended the margin to 5-0. Jordan Walker had an RBI single for the Cardinals in a 2-run first inning. Jordan Wicks is 0-2 and was charged with 3 runs and 4 hits in 2+ innings. He was removed after Weatherholt reached on an infield single leading off the 3rd. St. Louis opened a 2-0 lead after Weatherholt, Herrera, and Walker all singled to start the bottom of the 1st. Cubs right-hander Jamison Talon faces Athletics lefty Gage Jump to open a 6-game homestand on Tuesday night, while Cardinals right-hander Michael McGreevy faces Rangers right-hander Jacob deGrom to begin a 3-game series Monday night. In scores from around the MLB on Sunday, the Baltimore Orioles beat the Toronto Blue Jays 9-5, while the Pittsburgh Pirates took down the Minnesota Twins 9-3. The Washington Nationals beat the San Diego Padres 4-2, while the Cincinnati Reds beat the Atlanta Braves 6-4. The Boston Red Sox took down the Cleveland Guardians 9-4, while the Tampa Bay Rays beat the LA Angels 5-2. The New York Mets routed the Miami Marlins 10-1, while the Milwaukee Brewers shut out the Houston Astros 2-0. The Texas Rangers beat the Kansas City Royals 6-3, while the San Francisco Giants romped the Colorado Rockies 19-6. The New York Yankees beat the Athletics 13-8, while the Seattle Mariners beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 3-2 in 10 innings, and the LA Dodgers beat the Philadelphia Phillies 9-1. In a game heard on WHOW, the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans rallied late and walked off the Clinton Maroons 2-1 in a Class 2A regional championship matchup on Saturday afternoon in Clinton. Leadoff hitter Jackson Reynolds was hit by a pitch on a 3-0 count in the top of the 1st for Clinton. 2 sacrifice outs advanced Reynolds to 3rd, who scored on a wild pitch before Brock Wilson flew out to center to end the inning with a 1-0 lead. The Maroons would hold their lead until the bottom of the 6th when Gunnar Larner led off with a walk for Maroa-Forsyth. 2 batters later, Colby Parrott hit a ground ball and reached on an error that allowed courtesy runner Callan Rikus to tie the game at 1-1. In the bottom of the 7th, with 2 outs on the board, Cooper Wise hit a walk-off single over the head of right fielder Cole Fentress, scoring Camden Trendler from 3rd. Reynolds was 0 for 3 on the day with the lone run for Clinton. Stone Stith had a 2 for 3 day at the plate, while Xander Reynolds and Brock Wilson also added hits. Wilson threw 6 2/3 innings of 2-run ball, issuing 5 strikeouts, walking 7, and permitting 3 hits. Cooper Massey allowed 1 hit as he finished the final inning in relief. Wise was 2 for 4 with an RBI for the Trojans. Ace Giles was 1 for 3 with a run scored, while Grady Rose was also 1 for 3. Trendler pitched 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, 3 walks, and an unearned run, and striking out 2. Caden Blunt came in for 3 innings of relief, striking out 4 and allowing 1 hit. With the win, Maroa-Forsyth improves to 23-9-1 and advances to Wednesday's sectional semifinal against Tolono Unity in Monticello. Clinton finishes the season 21-14. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Tyler Henry was brilliant on the mound, facing only 2 over the minimum, and shut out Monticello in a 6-0 Class 2A Regional Championship victory Saturday in Monticello. Henry struck out 4, walked 3, and permitted just 1 hit in a complete game shutout effort on Saturday. He benefited from a pickoff and caught stealing that mitigated 2 of the 4 Sage's base runners on the afternoon. The Rockets took advantage of Sage's miscues in the bottom of the first to go up 3-0. Braden Henry broke the game open in the 6th with a 3-run homer to put Unity up 6-0. The Rockets go to 25-8 overall and advance to the Monticello Sectional on Wednesday, taking on Maroa-Forsyth. The Sages end their campaign with a final record of 30-5. Luke Martin was excellent on the mound Saturday, leading Mount Pulaski to a 3-1 win over Heyworth to capture a Class 1A regional championship from the Mount Pulaski Regional. Martin struck out 5, walked 1, and allowed just 1 hit in 7 innings. Trace Roberts was the only Hilltopper with multiple hits, going 2 for 4. Aaron Voley, Tyler Cross, and Carter Clark drove in runs for Mount Pulaski. Braxton Denning was 2 for 3 to lead Heyworth. Tristan Crow drove in the only run for the Hornets, going 1 for 3 with a double. He worked around 5 walks, going 4 2/3 innings with 6 strikeouts and permitted 3 runs. The Hornets finished their season 14-13 overall. The Mount Pulaski goes to 22-11 overall and will take on Lexington Wednesday night at 7 p.m. in Bloomington at Illinois Wesleyan in a Class 1A sectional semifinal. A run-scoring wild pitch in the bottom of the 6th inning plated the 10th and game-ending run for Normal Community as the Ironmen rolled Moline 10-0 in a run-rule Class 4A regional championship rout on Saturday in Moline. Max Heineman and Luke Beatty each doubled and drove in 2 for Normal Community. Hank Baldwin singled in a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carter Harris and Gavin Swartz each recorded RBIs. Josh Jones fired 5 1/3 innings of shutout ball with 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and permitted just 3 hits. The Ironmen go to 32-2 overall. They take on Minnook on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. at Duffy Bass Field on the campus of Illinois State University at 6 p.m. Champaign Central scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, pulling away late from Normal West for a Class 3A regional championship on Saturday at the Champaign Central Regional. The Maroons were up 3-1 to put the game out of reach with 3 straight run-scoring hits. Sam McCulley had the only RBI on the afternoon for the Wildcats, who mustered just 3 hits against 3 Champaign Central pitchers. Normal West finishes the season 23-15 overall. In high school baseball regional championship scores from Saturday, in Class 1A, the top-seeded Tremont shut out 5th seed Fieldcrest 6-0, while 4th-seeded Gibson City Melvin Sibley beat 2nd seed Milford 5-2. 7th-seeded Athens upset 3rd-seeded Decatur St. Teresa 11-7, while 1-seed Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond beat 3rd-seeded Neoga 19-7. 4th-seeded Oka Valley also took down 2nd-seed Tuscola 3-0. In Class 2A, top-seeded St. Joseph Ogden shut out 5th-seeded Bismarck Henning in a run rule 10-0 victory. 2nd-seeded Tri-Valley beat 5th-seed Pana 9-5, and top-seeded Pleasant Plains took down 4th-seed Rochester 4-1. In Class 3A, 1-seed Chatham Glenwood beat 5th-seed Mount Zion 2-1, while the 2nd-seeded East Peoria shut out the 3rd-seed Washington 3-0. And the 2nd-seeded Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin beat Springfield High 4-1, while 1-seeded Normal University routed the 4th-seeded Rantoul 9-0. In high school softball, Super Sectional Championship matchups for today in Class 1A. Top-seeded Meridian takes on the 3rd-seed Wilmington at Illinois Wesleyan at 4 p.m. In Class 2A, 6th-seed Bloomington Central Catholic takes on 1-seed Williamsville at Milliken in Decatur at 4 p.m. And in Class 3A, top-seeded Chatham Glenwood will take on 1-seed Washington, again at Milliken, this time at 6 p.m. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Noah Atkinson here. As owner of Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs in Lincoln, I know small business is important to our communities. That's why I'm pleased to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month.
The Vault Community Center on Mr. Lincoln Square in Clinton is a nonprofit teen community center offering an environment for social, academic, and spiritual growth through opportunities and services. They'll receive a $200 gift certificate good at Lincoln Printers and Sign Designs for being our WHOW WEZC Lincoln Printers Business of the Month. Nominate a business you'd like featured by emailing us at WHOW@randyradio.com.
Congratulations to this local business for all they do for the community. And don't forget, for envelopes, wedding invitations, signs, banner wraps, and more, go to LincolnPrintersInc.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4-lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire is facing another challenge. It's posed by renewed attacks and a lot of finger-pointing between the two sides. Israeli forces have moved deeper into Lebanon as they pursue Hezbollah fighters allied with Iran. Israeli troops have captured a strategic mountain that's topped with a Crusader-built castle in southern Lebanon. Ukraine has carried out strikes on Russian energy sites. Russian authorities and media say drone debris set fire to a fuel storage